morning. I don't know who all is going to show up today, but we're back at it again, I should say. Same preserve. I'm heading back up the hill. Gonna do a slightly longer route here today. I'm actually hiking today, not running. I have to stick with my my own rule of 80-20, so 80% easy, 20% hard. What's easy has to be easy, and what's hard has to be hard. That's interesting. I see some people there. I'm going to turn this camera around. Chicago Orienteering Club has an event going today that I was not aware of. This control checkpoint is part of an ongoing orienteering event designed for safe social distancing in these woods. Scan the QR code. Interesting. Have to check that out later. So now, gotta figure out which route to take here. The more muddy. Hi Gary, good morning. Do I want to take the muddier route or take the semi-muddy route? I think I'll take the semi over the muddy. And apparently I need to adjust this camera a little bit more on the Ultra Pod here. There we go. Trying not to be too shaky this morning, but everything seemed a little off balance today to me for whatever reason. So we're gonna go, for those of you that have walked with me, so to speak, on video before, we're going back up to the top of the hill here. I'm gonna go down one of the longer straight runs back to the outer loop and do a portion of the outer loop eastward until it hits, there's an uphill climb, and then once I hit that, I'll loop back over. So, I don't know, looking for 5 miles or so. Got somebody coming down the hill here. Got his way. And then we get going here as we go up the hill. Brought some lunch today and some stuff to make coffee. I gotta remember to look up that Chicago Orienteering group. I've never heard of that one. I know there's a Western Suburbs one, but I can't remember what they call themselves. Orient the Burbs or something like that. They were out here last year. Or last fall, I should say. I am petered out today, which sticks into what I was saying about changing up my routine a little bit. So I'm past 95 days now, non-stop. My body's starting to revolt a little bit. So I'll have to work on paying more attention to my routines. My goal was originally to make it 90 days non-stop. Now that I passed, today's 96. So I'm going to go up and make it an even 100 days. And then I'll switch to the more routine of, like I said, 80-20. 80% easy, 20% hard. Easy is easy, hard is hard. Especially with the warmer weather coming in now once it dries up a little bit in here, which also sucks because we have April showers coming. We've had the last couple days a little early. Had a good soaking rain. So now we'll have the more rainfall through April, and then we'll start to dry up a little bit. Somebody asked me about trekking poles the other day. I've actually switched to using the Lecky. This is the Rocks Light. There's a different version. There's two different versions. One of these has the neoprene kind of rubber impregnated grip, and the other has a cork grip. I went to the Rocks Light after having broken a Fizan, and I'm drawing a blank on the other brand name right now, but it's a cheap one. It's not an expensive pole now. Got some mud stuck in the lug of my boot, and it's causing me to walk at a funny angle with my foot here. I can get that out of there. So I posted up yesterday about maybe since we're all at home, we should all do just a simple Facebook Live video, or it could even be a video you record and then just upload to your profile. But share one tip or trick that you know that might benefit somebody else, you know. So we're all kind of sharing our collective pool of knowledge. I think that is one thing I'm seeing missing with this current generation is the handing down of knowledge. It's something I think we all, or at least the older folks in the crowd. Good morning, Mark. I'll give you a wave there while I adjust my pod here. I'm the hardest time with this pod this morning. Last couple of days it worked really well, and I folded it up to put it in my pack, and now I can't get the same angle back. But yeah, so I think, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I've noticed the younger generation now doesn't have a lot of the skills that they should have. So I figured if we all take a minute and share something, like I said, either a Facebook Live video or upload something to your profile and share it with your friends. Just some simple little tip or trick, or whatever you know to share. Like I said, if you know a good trick for getting jar lids unstuck, or anything really. I'll when I stop for lunch here, I'll empty out my pack, and the pack I'm wearing right now is the Mountain Smith Tour. It's their lumbar pack, so it's way down and low on my back with the straps. So when I get to a relatively sheltered spot where I can heat up my water and all of that, I can do. Just show you what all I carry. Today I'm carrying my Lumix FZ1000. I also have the Garmin InReach Mini. It's a high-tech get hurt. Hopefully ever using it. But my daughter knows how to track me on this thing and find out where I'm at, so gives her a chance to at least look on a map and see where her dad's out roaming today. So Mark, what are you up to today? Nothing good, or staying out of trouble, or getting in trouble? I'm trying to stay out of trouble and stay away from people. It's never really been a problem for me. I'm not a people person. I am when I have to be, but not as a general rule of thumb. I will for work. I will occasionally for family, for holidays and stuff like that, but I just find there's less strife and less stress when I'm dealing with myself. It makes things a little easier. So now I'm walking this trail here. Kind of pointed this one out the other day when I walked up to the top. This one goes out to the outer loop, which is now it's the old service road for this facility. This is the field where a lot of those buildings were when I was a kid. And that's about it. As soon as I get a good clip going here, I gotta find my pace. I'm not too much energy this morning. But yeah, I think I've always been like that to a certain extent, where I prefer, just to be on my own. I don't know, I just function that way better. I'm not one for drama. I hate drama. And it seems like people have to make it up, and if they can't make it up, they watch it on television. So it's not my cup of tea here. And I think, look on this map here, I found if I leave my GPS running while I'm recording these, my battery goes really quick. This is intersection 24. Yeah, I want to stay on palest yellow to 23 and then to 21. So I gotta go straight. One thing this preserve does well is their trail markers. And they have a map on a sign at every major intersection. But as you roam around and start following new trails, more mud. See, this is where I get irritated with the mountain bikers. They're just tearing these trails up. I know the riding group tries to do some trail maintenance, but it's not the greatest. So any small connector that has the possibility of, whoop-de-doos or anything else, the mountain bikers go riding down it. So I understand it, it makes it a lot more fun to ride. But you have to remember, you are not the only trail user. It's like I can flip this around and show you. So this is like now an all mud path. I'm standing on a stone area that they attempted to fix, but then they left open this entire, it's probably 120 feet to the next piece of stone. They left that whole area open. And they're riding it. Signs everywhere say don't ride the trails when they're wet. Mountain bikers still come out there and ride the trails. I know not all of them are members of the association, but again, I can preach this one till I'm blue in the face. If you're a trail user in any form, doesn't matter if it's a mountain bike or you're a hiker or you're a trail runner, you have a certain responsibility to maintain the trail. It's called shit. So do your part. I forgot my garbage bag. I was going to bring a garbage bag today. Usually I hang a bag off my pack and I pick up garbage as I go down the trail. Alright, Mark answered me here. Tying up some Fraggle fly. Fraggle. I think I know that pattern. It's is that a foam body on the top, Mark? Kind of looks like the all right, 24, 23. I think I need to go 24, the purple line, not this intersection. I'm at intersection 23. Yeah, so I need, and I don't want to go left. I want to go straight. Okay. Oh man, I can't remember the name of that pattern. And I tied up a ton of them in all different sizes too. Just drawing a blank on it, but you tie the foam on, hanging off the end of towards the back of the hook. You tie in either some kind of hackle or like I used that plasticky chenille. And you wrap the body and then you flip the foam over, tie it in so it's got a nose on it. Gartside's gurgler. So yeah, a gurgler. But for some reason the Fraggle is hitting my head as being a similar pattern, but it doesn't have the lip up front. So you can catch up when you can. Let me know. Another tree fell here. Actually have a trekking pole today, but it's just for balance, not for speed. More mud. You know, you look at the trails that people travel and they remain dry, or they might be wet, but they're not soft, deep, sinking mud. But any trail that these mountain bikers ride, they ride ruts all the way down into them, and the trail erodes. Unfortunately, I'm not a Cook County resident, so I have no real voice in this other than to piss and moan. I have messaged the Mountain Bike Association on their Facebook page and said, yo, start educating your members. Make the signs bigger so that everybody that comes to the park can see them. I don't have a problem with them out here, but gotta take care of these trails. It's like I'm not going to be surprised if I come across a mountain biker today, even though the trails are wet. Oi! Luft muss raus. So I said it earlier, but I'm looking for, I don't know, 5 miles today. Something like that. But this is a relatively easy walk. I'm not running today as much as I want to. I need to take care of that adductor. I don't think it's torn. I think it's just, I might have stretched the ligament a little too far running uphill or something. I don't know exactly when this happened. It started about a week ago. It's not bad by walking at all unless I do a real long reach, you know. Hey. Too bad this wasn't farther down the trail. It'd be a perfect lunch spot. Got a little chair and a little table. I think I know where I'm gonna stop, but we'll have to see what it's like back there. Sometimes it's pretty windy in that spot because it's closer to a highway that goes right next to one of the sloughs. I think I want to take Orange. I'm at 21. Yeah, I'm going to stay on Orange. So we're at another split in the trail here. And again, they got their map. So we're right at this post. So yeah, I want to go on 21 to the left, which brings me on this double black diamond down here. This is one of those old ski trails. There's a Nordic club on the other side of the slough from here, ski club. I don't know how long they've not used this preserve, but I remember coming out here when I was a kid with my dad in the winter one time, and there were cross-country skiers out here everywhere. You'd see them running these little single-track trails, just skiing through here like mad. I would love to see this type of preserve in DuPage or Will County, where they're a little more I gripe about this preserve, but the trails here are phenomenal. Again, you know, the mountain bikers are doing a fair bit of damage. I got some people in front of me here to the trails, but the trails are long. This is pissing me off. So I either have to let them go way ahead, or speed up and pass them up. Yep, I think it's a good time for a break. No coffee or nothing, just stop. Get a drink of water here. Let them all kind of move up ahead of me. At least it's a couple, not the whole group. I've passed quite a few groups out in these preserves since this, everybody keeps saying quarantine. This is actually not a quarantine, but yeah. Since the stay home directive, and it's obvious nobody's reading what you're supposed to do. You know, you go to the store. I probably gave him enough of a gap. I can slow down a little bit and let him get ahead. You go to the store, only one family member is supposed to go. You don't bring the entire family out to go to the store. You go to the preserves, which is allowed because it is exercise. All of the preserves, I'll come back to that one. But yeah, you're allowed to go out, but immediate family only, those that live together. And yet I continually see people here in the parking lot. They're getting out, they're shaking hands, it's like, you know, what part of this do you not understand? The 20-somethings thought that they were not part of the demographic at all. And it turned out to clearly not be the case. Good friend is a ER physician up in Wisconsin, and he's posted a couple times about a lot of their patients coming in now are the 20 and 30 somethings, you know. So obviously they are part of the demographic. The other one was a lot of complaints about smoking and vaping. Long, how you doing, man? Smoking and vaping is also a way to increase the risk. I don't smoke anymore. I'm good there. I'm in reasonable health and condition now. See, as I just jumped this little ditch right here, I came over right there and then jumped that little ditch. And just then, give Long his wave as I turn around. Just there, when I stretched out, I could feel that adductor pull. So that's probably how I did it, because I love jumping ditches. Especially when I'm running out here, it adds something to the run, you know, it adds something to the challenge. And I do have to admit that I'm finding that the addicting part of trail running is you're constantly looking. You know, I realize I'm getting backlit here too, but there's not much I can do about it. At least for this area. I have to slow down anyways. I caught up to that couple. So we'll turn the camera this way. So yeah, that's the one thing that I do thoroughly enjoy with trail running, is you're constantly scanning and looking, and you're figuring out your foot placement for the next 6, 8, 10 steps ahead of you. And I think that's much better for the I forgot to mute my phone, but that was a text from a coworker, former coworker. But yeah, so it's the constant challenge, the changing environment while you're running. I can't run on pavement much anymore at all because it just kills my knees. Looking for her orange jacket. I don't see it, so I can probably get moving again. I thoroughly enjoyed that casting demonstration yesterday. That was a really good idea. I'm going to do a pack dump here in a little while. I don't know, I guess I got to live up to my own word of asking people to post videos to, you know, show things and share things they know, and it's a good way for us to, like I said earlier, share the knowledge, you know. A lot of backpackers and outdoorsmen in general, even fly fishers, we're all good at saying, you know, show me your pack. So that's a good thing to do. And then later this week I'll start loading up my van to get ready for fishing and outdoors time, so you can expect a video on that. John Vetterly asked me to do a video of how I stocked the van, so I will do that later this week. This is the other one I love to run, but only on dry days. So the trail comes down, you got quite a few steps and roots, and you get into the stones, and then here's some bigger slabs that were added in, and you go across the old, it's a dry creek bed right now, and then you run up the other hill from where I'm at to that stump right there that I'm pointing at is probably 60 feet. And the depth of this ditch is probably close to 25 feet. So yeah, we definitely do, Lon. I would expect at least a month. Sorry, I got to take my time going down this here. I don't mind it when I'm running because I've got forward momentum, but here I need to go slow. Yeah, I was listening to a NPR story this morning, and they were actually talking about it, that it may need to extend through. Actually, I should get a shot of from the other side here. You know, right now it's extended through April, end of April, and the reality is we may need to extend it through May, possibly even into June. That's where I just came down right now, and now I'm up the other side of this. Yeah, but not Fauci, but other university infectious disease people are saying that, you know, it makes a lot of sense to extend this through the end of May, possibly through the end of June, because as we start to release certain areas, you're going to see the infection return, and most likely in areas that it has not been up until then, you know, because yeah, we're allowing carriers to go free, those that are asymptomatic but carriers, you know, so it makes a lot of sense. A lot of people have been posting these Dan Brown did it in a book, and supposedly some psychic predicted it as well. This massive viral infection in 2020. And then suddenly it goes away and then returns again in 2030 and goes away for good. The only thing I'm seeing wrong with that is both of those memes that are going around are almost exactly the same text-wise. It's just one says it's Dan Brown, one says it's a psychic. I do recall a Dan Brown book that had to do with a contagion, but it's been a long time since I read it. But like they keep, exercise some common sense. Like I was showing you, I got this couple on the trail in front of me. They're walking very slow. When I catch up to them, or not up to them, but I get 100 feet behind them, I stop for a minute. Let them get ahead. I have to negotiate another slick ditch here. Part of me wants to just yell ahead and tell them, just please stop, step off the trail and allow me to pass. But I'll be nice. Let's just take a little break. 80% easy, 20% hard. Catch up on the stream there. And yes, I realize I'm backlit. There's just not much I can do about it because of the sun is right up here. And I'm kind of paralleling it, heading easterly now. Actually, I'm a little, what is it now, 12, 21. Yeah, I'm a little ahead of my normal route because I cut out the outer loop here on the west side of the park, because I've learned that that thing is a mud puddle for about 4 days after any rain. Getting Instagram comments now, and it would be nice to be able to figure out a way to, there you go Facebook, if anybody from Facebook is watching. I have one young friend that works for Facebook. Figure out a way to do these videos simultaneous. So if I start Facebook Live, it goes over to Instagram TV as well. You can broaden the reach of your members very simply. Right, they are stopped and off in the woods here. Maybe I can get past them. Hoping she's not tinkling. Nope, they came back out. Damn it. So I guess I have to stop and let them get ahead again. I don't want to be rude and ask them to wait, but I don't want to be that guy. They should have stayed in the woods once they heard me coming. Why do we have smoke rising over here? Well, it's slightly blue, so it could be a car broken down. You can see the smoke right in here. Try to let them get ahead now. Yeah, it's a little too blue to be a brush fire. Smoke from a car, maybe. Oh, I do smell it too, and it's oil. Pileated woodpecker over this way. Let's go down and see what this is. I think this trail cuts down that way. Watching for a woodpecker over here. Yeah, this is that. All right, I gotta turn this camera on. Yeah, camping would be nice, Long. If you can see that white stone right there, there's an animal trail that runs right up along it there and up the hill. I also have a group of hikers up there too on the upper trail. Oh no, it's not hikers. Somebody out there building a shelter. Alright, just continue walking here. More texts. A lot of my former co-workers are constantly texting me. Yeah, there's a shelter. He's built a shelter up there, a little lean-to. Like I was talking about the other day. Well, I think I pointed it out the day before yesterday too. There's you do see a large homeless population in here. They build little lean-tos, and some of them have ponchos, and they just rig up a tent overnight. But yeah, Long talking about the camping. Let's camp in these preserves. I know a couple of people that do. I don't know that I would want to camp in this particular preserve. I smell a wood fire now. Tufted tit. Little bird. I do love the smell of a wood fire. Sorry, I've got another steep downhill here I'm having to negotiate. The uphill side is pretty easy, but the uphill right there. Roland, wie geht's? Ja, bist du daheim jetzt oder schaffst du noch? 2 Uhr bist du daheim, aber ich meine im Büro. Any second now. Yep, there they are. I was just going to say, any second now I'm going to catch up to that couple again. Nothing wrong with being on a casual walk, but when you're holding up the trail. But yeah, Long, I'll get out and do a lot more camping this year. More so out of the van than anything, but you'll see when I do the video this week. Try and do that Thursday or Friday. And John's gonna post his up. I'm trying to get Al Alborn, if you're watching. I tagged you yesterday. Hopefully Al can do a video of how he sets up his van as well, or his SUV. What is it? Nissan Xterra, I think it's called. I got a lot of my ideas from his setup. Yeah, it's definitely a brush fire now. Smell it. I don't know if they had a controlled burn scheduled over there. I don't think so. I think Cook County finished all of their controlled burns. So we got another uphill section here. Give Joe a wave. Yeah, Roland, it comes and goes. Cellular service out here isn't too good. I'm semi-remote today. Not really by location, but by services. As I get behind this hill here, it's going to block the cell tower. Hopefully it'll catch up. I'll upload the stream as well, so you'll see it later if you want to. You can fast forward to where you're at now. do love hiking these trails though. It's just, I don't know. Running is nice and relaxing too to a certain extent, but you don't get much time to think and mull things over, you know. You got walking, you're kind of, you know, halfway paying attention to what you're doing and then ruminating on things the rest of the time. I should be catching up to this couple again here in a minute. Yep, told you to be back. There's a hill to my left, Roland, and the cell tower is beyond that. So as I dip in and dip out of the Fresnel zone for the signal, you know, I'll come and go. But if you find it that interesting, I'll upload the video at the end anyways. And the end will be HD, so you might get a little bit prettier shot of this ugly mug. Joe, did you make that bread? Du machst Urlaub auf den Moment. Oder Urlaub ist eine Krankheit. Das Virus. Yeah, Joe, let me know if you made that bread. Now, I think if you add the soda to that, the baking soda, you'll end up with a bread that's very much like the Irish soda bread. Okay, Long, check you. See you later. Yeah, I'm gonna probably start up a batch of dough tonight and do a couple pot bowls, whole wheat. Try and at least keep myself semi-healthy. Tell you, I'm glad we're allowed to go out and exercise. Because I flipping hate that treadmill. If I had to walk on a treadmill all day, I think I'd just lose my mind here. Here, I'll show you this. This one's kind of cool. The roots that are coming up actually make steps as you come down. Oh, crap. A lot of rocks I gotta step over here. A couple of these trails. This one's not too bad, but there's a couple of them here. I swear some days you make more vertical, you know, on the vertical climb, you make more side to side distance than you make vertical distance because you're rock hopping all the way up the damn hill. Yeah, I am in the woods, Roland. So roughly this angle. So oben ist ein Berg da hinten. Auf die andere Seite von das Berg liegt das Handy, ja, Turm, die Funkgerät. So the cellular tower is on the other side of that hill, and as I drop too far below the ridge, I'll lose signal occasionally, which is why I carry this. To go over satellite if I have a problem. But I can't send data over that. Michael, Terry, Juan, hello. Good morning. Well, actually, good afternoon now. So here's another one of those little crossings. So again, from where I'm standing at to that root that's farthest up there on the hill that goes across, it's about 80 feet. The depth from grade to the bottom here is probably close to 35 feet. So this is another pretty good dip down here. I'll carry you guys down face first. Agent Orange. Asian Orange, mine's too. Agent, yeah, for Spiona for the Russa. Alright, so I'll turn you guys back around as I head back up this other side. Well, it got a little warmer than they said. I dressed up for the 40s and starting to sweat. I have to peel a layer here in a little while. Alright, so I'm starting to move in to the sections of the old road. What is this one? Oh, I just made my elevation goal. This was one of the posts. It came up and head straight that way for the old fence here. And this used to be a research facility. There's another one of them where the post rotted out in the concrete and just left the hole. And there's another one over there. This was actually the southwest corner of this facility. No, Michael, no, not looking for mushrooms. I went with my neighbor several times when I lived in Germany to go mushrooming, and I think I picked 100 mushrooms, and out of the 100 mushrooms, only 2 of them were not poisonous. So I leave mushroom picking to people that can obviously not kill me. The only one I can tell flat out is a morel mushroom. Hold on one second here. I got a text I need to take care of. Give me just one. Alright, sorry about that. I had to answer that text. Alright, so we're back on the move again. Looks like everybody's coming back. So yeah, this is still the perimeter run. I have there's an old, I don't necessarily know if this was sewer. I think it was just water removal. But I'll show you the catchment in a little while, but this is one of the old drains that goes this, runs this way. And then once I get up on the old road, I can show you where the drains and stuff are from this old water runoff. And at the end there's a catchment, and that's one of the places I usually stop to eat. I don't think I have my windscreen with me for my stove. I might have the one for my alcohol stove. Oh, what I was going to say is the morel mushrooms. It's the only one I can pick out without killing myself. Only because around here I think there's no mimic of it. Somebody lost their Jets hat back there. Picked it up and put it on a branch. Every trip out here I find a glove or a hat or a shoe. If you were watching on Friday, I believe it was, they even found 2 condoms by a tree. Used. Yep, I'm going to be backlit here for a couple minutes till I make this next right turn. I'm actually heading more north-northeast right now. Gives me a chance to catch up on, nope, no messages. And that couple's up here at the crossroad again. to wait for them to go. 'Cause I want to hang a right. There's a two-way intersection here. Hopefully they'll go the opposite way. Good, they're sitting down so I get a chance to pass them. Hey guys, how you doing? They decided to take a break, so I'm gonna pass them up. So now I'm easing back down onto the trail here, and it will turn into that old road here in just a second. I can actually turn the camera around and you can start to see right along here there's a straight line that moves around, and that is part of the old, that drain I was showing you back there. This is where it all connects up and becomes finally part of the old road. That's what I'm walking on now, is the old road bed. I forgot what they called this road. One of the old maps, it's listed like Dynamite Road, which I'm assuming is the road they put in to bring in the explosives when they destroyed the first 2 reactors out here. There's no danger of radiation. It's all background, that's all you get. So the same thing you get sitting in your living room. Yeah, I think they called it Dynamite Road. So here's a couple of the catchment drains with their heavy slab cover. But yeah, the history of this facility is just amazing. So this was the startup of it, and it later became Argonne National Lab just up the road after they moved the piles. They buried 2 here, and my understanding is they took some of the elements, the radioactive material, with them to Los Alamos to start building the bomb. So it's a pretty cool history with this place. There's one of the old, there's another drain. This one's in much better shape to allow you to see how the water, you know, it used to be able to run down into the catchment down in there. And here's one of the old caps, sewer caps. I looked in this one not long ago. Get back out on the road, and there's a possum in there looking at me. I was like, oh, hello. Left the little guy on his own. Possums are one of those animals you love to hate, you know. They have everything, you know, they do a serious job for nature, but they're just so damn ugly. I'm moving along here down this old road. But yeah, there's those drains like I just showed you. There's a pair, one on either side, about every 60, 70 feet here on the old road. So I always wonder what you're passing by, you know. There'll be a little old bridge coming up here in a minute too. A couple minutes. I was talking about the slough that's down here. Getting to where I can, you'll kind of be able to see it through the trees here. Turn the camera around for you. Hey, Brian. You can kind of make out the water right there through the trees. It goes way up there. This is Saganashki Slough. It's one of the larger ones here. The sloughs are left over from when the glaciers went through. And they just carved these huge, yeah, I guess it is a glacial lake. There's a whole string of them right here through this area. Unlike the area where I go in Wisconsin fishing, which is called the Driftless, for the specific reason that the glaciers never came through that way. One of the creeks. Got a little bit of water flowing. Hey Brian, yeah, a lot of panfish in that lake. Boots are a little dirty today. Oh, I just walked over the bridge and didn't even show you. It's one of them. Up here about another quarter mile, maybe, is one of the original stone bridges that they built in place for this when it was actually the Redgate Wood Research Facility. I forgot what the original name was, but this is where they moved the Chicago reactor, the one that they built under the bleachers at the University of Chicago. If you've watched your history or you've watched the movie Fat Man and Little Boy or any of those, they always talk about it. And they moved it from there to here. Much about atomic history. Yeah. Sorry, Roland. It's just what it is, you know. That was my life in the military, so the interest of the history of it still gets sparked pretty good. Well, Brian, that just means there'll be more work for you. With all this rain, you know, it'll seed the grass up. Oh, I was going to look for more trillium today, and I didn't think about it. I did see some wild onions starting to come up. Got movement in the brush up here, but I'm not sure what it is. Burp, burp, burp. Slow down a little bit. It was a bigger animal, not a bird. Could be another coyote following me, bringing me through his territory. Yeah. Just caught a glimpse of him over here. Turn the camera around, maybe I can get a picture of him. That's Fermi Lab. But yes, Enrico Fermi was part of the research. I want to see. I don't know if he's going to show up on camera. Probably because I stopped moving, he stopped. You can see more of that glacial lake back off there in the distance. That coyote is right back here. There's a dark spot right where my stick is. That's his head. So he's escorting me through his territory. I love to see that. You move into a coyote's territory and he'll or she will escort you through. They'll walk with you. You should look on the trail behind me because occasionally they'll come up behind me. But they walk through till you're out of their patch and then they go back to whatever they were doing. So they're social without being friendly like a dog. I think I got another coyote up here on my left. I don't ever pay them any mind, but I'm trying to get them on video because I keep telling you guys how they will escort you. I'm sure some of you have seen it and not realized what's going on, especially the people out towards the Front Range. They see it much more often. I'm sure wolves probably exhibit the same behavior too, but wolves scare people and they tend to go the other way. Oh, but I don't know if I finished it, Brian. I was saying, yeah, the rain would cause the grass to grow quicker. So you'll have more work here pretty soon. Should start seeing wild garlic here too in the next week. Surprised there's not any up now. It's not mature enough, otherwise I'd pick some for my soup. Just a little bit here and I'm at my lunch spot. Not too much farther. The thing is, I've walked these woods so many times, I know these trails. The Coyote Chronicles, yeah. I love coyotes, man. I think they're probably my favorite animal out here. Other than skunks, I like skunks too, but they're a little stinky. I like raccoons. Raccoons are always nice. Right. Alright. I'll move out of your way.
How you doing?
Good, how are you? There's a trail runner off on his little run for the day. I'm on my down day, but I keep moving. You gotta keep moving. What was that song? Alright, so this is typically where I stop for lunch. It's an old, remember I showed you all the sewers, or not sewers, but all the old drains. This is a catchment tank that goes along with it. I don't know if because I never have noticed the ground back down in here where it goes back down, but you can see right back here is an old foundation. You can kind of see the steps going up there, and the building progressed back this way about 40 feet. So you can see part of the foundation right here. So I don't know, was this a hang on, let me turn this camera around. So yeah, I don't know if this was a catchment tank for them to get their drinking water out of, or was this a percolation tank to drain it back down in the ground. Sorry, I'm opening up my UltraPod here so I can set the camera down while I start to get some food going. I don't know how well you guys can hear me like this, but it should be okay. Dances with Coyotes. What kind of dances? Not your kind of dances, Roland. That's still my best memory with you. Roland and I work together. He works at our corporate, so this is my pack. I think a lot of people ask about it. It's the Mountain Smith. This is their tour lumbar pack. But yeah, I was sitting there with Roland and we were working on a server migration. Jason, how's it going? Mr. Fontenelle is rising. But yeah, so Roland does community theater at home in Austria, and he was showing me some videos of one that he had done, and he was dressed up like a woman. And our old president at that time happened to come in while Roland's prancing around in this video on stage dressed as a woman. The look from it on his face was hysterical. It's like we're about 3 miles in to the hike. I said I would strip this pack and show you guys what's in it, so I will. Jason, did you get that horse settled down yet? The new one you guys got the other day? Alright, so let me lay this out where you can see it here. I get this camera turned around. Of course, I just opened up the pod, now I'm closing it. So yeah, again, this is the Mountain Smith lumbar pack. It's got a great little side pocket, but only on the right side. I wish they would put one on each side. And I have the add-on shoulder straps. Of course, most of you guys know this one. So that says 1.7 miles, but it only tracks every 10 minutes. So instead of showing the full path, it goes from point A to point D because it's not tracking the entire route. That's why I always pay more attention to the GPS in my watch. I added an extra little rubber strap here to put my Gore-Tex on the outside when I need to. It's got two nice big pouches on the side. They will hold full size, full height Nalgene's. Just to give you an idea, this is a 23 ounce water bottle. So the pouch is fairly large, but it does hold a standard 1 quart Nalgene. Flip up this pocket here. There's an outer pocket here, which I also have the matching rain cover for it. In here it's just carry my small knife in here. I don't know how many of you guys know the different knives, but this is the Mora knife, Mora knife. This is their Eldris, which is a nice short, stubby little blade. It's about 2 inches long here. The blade's not very big. I'll pull it out. You guys just be patient with me here. So there you go. Oop. So there's these are great little knives. I think I've got like 6 of these things. They're stupid sharp. Very handy to have a good knife. New mare thinks she rules the world. Oh boy. Meanwhile, the world burns. Yes, sir. Just putting that knife away because, like I said, it is stupid sharp. I always carry a ferrocerium rod. Every knife I have has a ferro rod attached to it. So while I do the whole pocket dump here, still on that outer pocket, TP, because you got to have TP. Actually, that's all that's in the outer pouch right now. TP, some extra Velcro straps. You can never have enough Velcro. Knife back in. And cover back in. And I gotta zip it back shut. Alright, now set you down for a second here. 3 people. Alright, so now I'm into the main compartment, which is actually very roomy. Part of lunch. Part 2 of lunch. Just my stove and isobutane, everything is contained in the cup. Part 3 of lunch, although I may not eat that now, but somebody had asked me about carrying a shelter one time. This is my, I forgot the brand name now. It's a Dyneema triangular shaped shelter that's held up with my trekking pole. And the stakes are all in there. This pack has a great little zip up pouch. In the front here is also a key ring loop. In this pouch I have my 10,000 milliamp hour battery pack. I have my headlamp. There's some spare batteries for the headlamp. my ultralight. This actually Mastrop had this one. It's called the Veil. It's an ultralight windbreaker. This is my lunch kit. It has my spork on it. I'll open it up in a minute. There's an alcohol stove and all that. And there's the roll-up pouch that I keep my tent stakes in. Better than Tiger King? I don't know what. Oh, the TV show. Yeah, I saw somebody was talking about they're wasting away a lot of their time watching that. So that's the main part of the compartment. The other thing I love is it's entirely yellow inside, so you're not looking into a dark, cavernous pack to try and find something. There's a divider in the back. Again, this is designed for, I don't know, I guess you could say urban and trail work. So it has a padded divider, so you could keep a small tablet back here. You're not going to fit a laptop or even an iPad in it. You might get an iPad mini. My fold-up sit pad. So I'm going to lay out right now because I'm going to park my ass on it in a minute. And I always carry tuna. The best Cliff Bar ever made. Although the old one was better. The carrot cake. Package of coffee. Should be a package of sugar in there too somewhere. There we go. Sugar in the raw. Well, that stays out. But yeah, that's basically the extent of the pack. It also has a headphone port if you want to run your headphones through, and behind the lumbar pad there's also another pocket down in here that's full depth of it, which I typically will keep my snot rag in. Let's start putting things back in where they go. You know what, I'll just eat the banana right now. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do the banana, the Cliff Bar, and make myself a cup of coffee. So right now I'm just packing everything back into the pack. I'm completely drawing a blank. There's the label, but I can't read other than model. Completely drawing a blank on the name of that shelter. But it is Dyneema, so it's extremely lightweight. Alright. Switch you guys back over to the tripod now while I start to put my lunch together here. Jeff, how you doing? Get you guys turned back around. There we go. Now I'll park my ass back on the concrete. I love this, the little bitty sit pads that when it folds down, you can see how big it is. Because like sitting on this concrete in the winter, it's really cold. It gets your attention real quick. Catching back up on this stuff. Yeah, this is actually the small kit, Jason. I have a, that thing, 40 liter? 35 or 40 liter Zimmer built pack that I usually carry with me, but I've been kind of babying my back a little bit. So yeah, I'm trying to keep the weight lower off of my back. And that's where I love this lumbar pack, because the weight all sits on my hips. I can adjust it a little bit with the shoulder strap kit, where it's like constantly shift the weight up and down as my back starts to hurt a little bit. Yeah, I'm one of those old guys. So this is the GSI Halulite Minimalist. I have two of the Minimalists. I have two of the Duo. I hate selling out to a single brand, but I got my little lip cap here to go on this so I don't burn my lip. But making you hungry. All I'm having is a coffee, a Cliff Bar, and a banana, Brian. So no fancy food. My little Snow Peak stove. I love these little compact stoves. Got one that's even smaller than this. It's probably, I'll say, a third of this size. The thing is terrifying when it's actually running. It's, make sure the valve's closed. Nope, valve wasn't closed. I think I have about half a dozen different, uh-oh. Not good. I have a broken seal in the can. Which is bad because you can freeze yourself. Seal itself looks good. The O-ring is in place. Did I go the wrong way? I think I had the valve the wrong way. I got so used to another one on my head, now I can't get the thread started. There we go. Yep, that's what it was. I had the valve open. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, damn it. I have a little French one, I forgot the name of it. And that one is the opposite. Left is closed, right is open. Yeah, no kidding, Jason. Yeah, I'd be kicking this thing off into the woods. I had an old Svea years ago. You know, the brass pressurized one. And I kicked that thing flying one time in the woods camping in Germany. The valve wouldn't shut down. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear me over that stove. I will move the camera over here. Just getting my stuff laid out here. Coffee and sugar. I'm still laughing at that turn around and seeing, don't like that. Oh good, I do have my shields in here. So I always carry alcohol stove as a backup. Fancy feast, and I got a cap to snuff it to try and recoup alcohol. I do have a wind guard. This one is, yeah, too short. But this one is designed for the alcohol stove. I also have a larger titanium one. Yes, sir. I have a couple different percolators too that you can take on the trail. Two micro percolators. One's a Swedish company. The other one is a French company. Actually, I don't need this. I was going to open this one up. This is the sheet of titanium foil. in the bag here. I also have a double spoon with a built-in little butter knife. Goes back in there. Just turn around and show you. But this is kind of how we're set up here, really simple. Nothing fancy. But yeah, I like my coffee. I even have a Thermos brand cup in the car that's fully loaded, shall we say. So I've got some coffee ready to go with that one. While I'm thinking about it. Oh, way off center there. And we're almost to a ball. Speaking of things not being balanced, let's do a couple pictures of this real quick here. Yeah, we'll get you guys on camera twice. Oh, the polarizer's not letting me. There we go. So Jason, you'll have your quote up twice. Once in this photo and once in the video. Branch just fell out of a tree down there. We should. Almost got us some oil. I don't know how many of you guys watch Shug Emery. I don't know how many of you guys are backpackers, but I've always loved Shug's videos. He imitates Carl from Sling Blade. And he'll sit there and go, this, by the way, is worth the extra bit of weight. It's just to pick up hot pots with. It's got a little magnet embedded in it so you can stick it to things so you don't lose it. Now we got it. Now that's pretty ball. Alright. Actually, I think I've come far enough in the woods I could, in theory, just turn around and go back and get my 5 miles. I don't mind instant coffee, but these, I forget what, Starbucks Via, the instant ground, they are the nuts for coffee on the trail. Although arguably you have to pack waste out, whereas with instant coffee you just pack out a little itty bitty Ziploc bag, you know, per meal. And it does make stuff go a lot quicker, but I always put my garbage straight in my pack so I don't forget it. Sun's starting to come out again, finally. Sugar in the raw, in the tubes. You can bulk buy them on Amazon. Normally I drink my coffee straight up black. But when you're out hiking, sugar is energy, sugar is fuel. Cool that down just a notch, so I'm not here waiting an hour for my lunch to get done. I know somebody's going to ask me, once I get this piece of grass out of there, I got debris falling out of the trees. Somebody will ask me about this little lip here. Those are made by Toaks, T-O-A-K-S, and they call it the hot lip. Actually, I don't think it will work with this particular cup. No, it won't. Well, I guess it could. Nah, it won't because of the insulator sleeve, but that's all right. I don't need it. Did you hear it? There's a loon back there in that glacial lake that's behind you guys there. I love it when the loons go cutting through every year. Back in there. Stove should be cool enough. Yep. I don't know how well that's going to show up, but I love the colors that you get on titanium. You get that really pretty blue into the yellow, starts to turn red, and then where it cools down again. Always love that with titanium. It's really pretty at the... Can't really get enough light on it. But down here at this base, it's really pretty as well. Of course, the sun went away, so... Now I break everything down, put it back away. When I'm finished with my coffee, all that goes back into the cup. For years, I would take this cap off and then dispose of it when I started using the can. I think I was up in northern Minnesota, and the only can I had with me got some little stone or something in there, and I couldn't use the fuel can anymore. So now I just keep the lid and put it back on the can to prevent them from getting lost. Oh yeah. Coffee. Again, the stove is a Snow Peak. I have 2 Snow Peaks, 2 from Covia, 2 different models from Covia. One of them is the Spider, which is on a hose, so it's for larger pots. Spider actually burns a little hotter, so you consume a little more fuel. I have that little bitty one, BRS something, or BSR something. I have that little French one, I have a little Swedish. Now, these are all isobutane stoves. Move you guys around here. Yeah, and then I've got the old-fashioned Colemans, both the white gas pump up as well as the propane one that uses the 2-pound bottle, I think it is, or 1-pound bottle, or with an adapter you can use more, a larger canister obviously. I don't have it with me, but I also have a propane adapter for all of my isobutane stoves so that I can power those from propane canisters. And then of course, like you guys saw, I always have an alcohol stove, some form of alcohol stove. I mostly do the pot pressurized ones. There's several on the market that are pump ups, but that Fancy Feast can, the Fancy Feast stove, those are so easy to make, literally from a Fancy Feast, cat food, or a potted meat, the small can. You need an inner stainless steel tube. What I have is some type of air piping and fiberglass tape. And you wrap the stainless tube in the fiberglass tape and then put it inside the Fancy Feast and let it go. And there's a little notch cut so you can get air flow down in there. but the alcohol vaporizes in the flame and gets pushed down and comes up the wick. So you get a nice, steady, even heat. I made a couple other pot pressurized ones that, to me, they're utterly terrifying when they go. The one produces almost 12,000 BTU from an alcohol stove, but they're really scary when they go. I'll do a video on those. I'll do a video on all my stoves at some point. The longer this stuff continues, the longer I'll have time to make video. Surprised nobody else has come down the trail yet. Ooh. Yeah, I'm doing this in the right order at least. I need my Cliff Bar to pack out my banana skin. I don't know, I guess theoretically I could throw this in the woods. It will biodegrade. But I try to pack out everything I bring in. Got a few people watching. Nobody's saying anything. I actually love this spot in the woods here. All these old trees. You can see back up the trail the way I came and the way I have to go down. Goes to the end and hangs a right, and then I loop back through the wood again, and then loop back out that way. Although I think theoretically I've gotten enough distance down where I could turn around and walk back, and I'll have my probably be 6.5 to 7 miles. Yeah, the more I think about it. Got a red-headed woodpecker over there. Black-capped chickadee over here. There's a budgie up above me. Can hear all the birds. Is anybody doing anything exciting today? You see, somebody just came in. Oh, it's Lori. Ah, almost knocked my camera over. It's leaning at a bit of an odd angle right there. So I guess I'll turn you guys around. Maybe you can see that woodpecker when he comes down. He's in this tree here, but up at the top. You hear the geese back off in the lake back there. I'm waiting to hear that loon again. No, not you. I saw a couple of loons the other day swimming in the I&M Canal. We have a steady stream of cormorants that come up here to this is their breeding ground, but the loons usually only come through and they're here for a few days, and then they head on out. Lori, are you doing anything constructive? A lot of my women friends are all griping that they're going to gain 40 pounds by the time this is over. One of the younger friends both sorry, I just got a Facebook message there. A friend of mine who forgot my birthday. What kind of friend that forgets your birthday? That's alright, I got a lot of them that forgot it. Even though Facebook tells you your friends' birthdays. I don't know if she's watching the stream or not. For anybody that's new, the other part of lunch is a Cliff Bar carrot cake. I admit it, when they first had these, they had a strip of frosting on the top. And that was better than any carrot cake you've ever had in your life. But, it's alright. It's still a nice pick-me-up for 250 calories. It is nice and quiet out here today, other than the occasional car on the road down there. I say that, and there's another one coming. Speaking of which, I'm going to pause the stream momentarily while I download my watch. So hang on just a minute. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that. I can get you guys back in a decent position here. Say at 3.26 miles in, so I could go back and make my goal for miles today, which is tempting, because I know if I go this way, even at the next intersection taking the trail back up the hill, I know that that way out is like 4.5 miles. Still have plenty of time to do it. But going that way is also a huge pile of mud. Probably a deer. I hear something moving back behind me here in the woods. So yeah, you can see the boots are already pretty muddy. So I guess walking out in the mud either direction doesn't matter. But I think I will reverse it. Just start heading back out. Still trying to work on my getting my gear cleaned up and ready for this year, and get my office cleaned up so we can start doing videos from the office as we talk about the different stoves and some fly tying maybe. Got a lot of questions on the different packs I have and different fly fishing kits, so we'll get all that going here and start posting up some videos and some blog posts. Great big clouds today. But I love how you get these. So you get the gray cloud, and then suddenly you've got these bright streaks of blue. That come out. If you're watching and you got questions, post them up. Probably a deer, because now I hear it back here, right over in this area. Before it was behind me. But yeah, other than the car noise, this is a nice spot right here. It's quiet. You get a nice, comfortable spot to sit. Hear the blue jays. That's one thing that's been nice. If there's anything nice about a global pandemic, far less plane traffic here. As Lori knows, and most of my friends know, we're actually on the approach to Midway Airport here. Still a good 12, 15 miles east of here. But now there's a lot less commercial air traffic, so it's much quieter. It's funny, you don't think about it much, you get used to it. You get used to the sound. But then once it gets quiet, you start going, what sound is missing? The carrot cake Cliff Bar, I always break off little pieces. Try and, I don't know, savor the flavor, I guess. All the rest of them I just bite off a big old chunk, but the carrot cake one is so good. I wish I could get my big camera hooked up to this. A couple blue jays down here just flying back and forth. It looks almost like they're playing. Back around this way. Some big bird just flew over the top here, but oh, it's a turkey vulture. See if he flies back over this way, and I'll try and get him on the video. They're back there. I don't know if you can make them out flying back there or not. But there's a couple turkey vultures back there flying around. What's up, Jason? I see you. Well, I don't see you. I see you on the string. Coffee. So, Jason, are you guys working now? Or are you just kind of on hold like the rest of us? Start cleaning up my debris. Just finishing up lunch, Jason, since you just got here. About like a lieutenant, always late. I was going to tell you that flag that you handed on to me at work there now got handed on to Jeff, who is also in quality. And he is ex-Navy, so the flag is passing from serviceman to serviceman. Yeah, I really would like that suit, but I don't feel like sitting here boiling up more water. It's kind of packing everything away here. This is a slow stream today. You guys were talkative as hell earlier. I guess I have to attract the talkative folks. Let's see, that goes back in my jacket. I actually have to finish my coffee. I can't carry it because it's too muddy. Oh. Probably will end the stream here in a little bit and just give it a break while I backtrack out. And start up on the other side, so. Two fingers, not one. Geek, geek, geek. There, this will be my co-host now. He can, it's my little talkie puppet. Yeah, actually, I think it will. End this here in a minute anyways, because they, coffee and nature call. I did get a couple questions about my shit kit, but I'm not going to show you guys it in use, so we will do a video about that one as well. Yeah, speaking of which, alright, I'm going to end it right now while I get my stuff all packed away and get back on the trail, and we'll pick back up in a little while, alright? See you guys in a bit.